Listen, Acha, he has seen PTV World.
I tried being an anchor back in the day. When people
We auditioned together for PTV World. Can you imagine?
I remember vividly.
Gee, so this is our studio, and every corner.
I like the fact. Okay.
Yeah. Everything we use, every corner, every side.
That is so nice.
Welcome back to another episode of Chatroom with Shizza, ladies and gentlemen. The person I have with me over here in the studio, he has a lot of labels, and you actually know him by all of them. Entrepreneur now, of course, marketer earlier, content creator, influencer, vlogger, blogger, whatnot. Today, I want to talk to him outside of those labels, who the person really is and what was the psychology or the idea behind building all these labels and brands. You're not going to believe this because I didn't even when he said yes. I have with me in the chat room with Shizza, Hamza Bhatti. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, Hamza.
Walaikum salam. How are you, Shizza?
I'm absolutely fine. How are you doing today?
I'm good, alhamdulillah.
I think credit's due where it's due. I want to appreciate you for making time for us. I know you just came back from Iran and then Turkey. You had quite a busy schedule over there. And for all those who don't know, Hamza came here with an injury.
Yeah, I mean, I have a banged up knee, but obviously I had to come when you had, obviously, when we were in conversation, for
a while now. Yeah. So we're good on the knee end?
I think we're good.
Challenge, that's nice. Yeah. Do you think the moment, and this is a popular sentiment out there, I stand by it, the moment you touch 30, your body gives up. And recovery is so difficult. And you're taller, mashallah.
And I swear to God, I always say that, because of this thing, it's not just 30, by the way.
Okay.
I've been going through, and to all the tall people out there, I mean, it's like, because I remember back in the day, when I was in class 6, 7th grade, and I remember we used to and we used to obviously travel to the different cities because my dad was in the forces, and we used to go to every time there was a new classroom. So I'd have to find a specific kind of desk and a chair for myself because I wanted to make sure I would fit in that desk and chair if I was in the 4th grade, I would get something from the 8th or 9th grade because I wouldn't fit on the 4th or 5th.
You were always tall. You didn't shoot.
No. So here's the thing. Yeah, I kind of was always tall. Yeah, I kind of, because if you look at pictures from prep even, तो मैं कोई already 1 inch 2 inch already ऊपर हूँ. So I don't know. I was like, okay, that is who I am. So yeah, the thing about being tall especially in Pakistan as well, is the fact that you won't fit in buses, in planes. I don't fit in planes. I mean, I don't. That's the worst part.
Then you ask for extra leg space.
And so I asked for extra leg room, and every time I'm traveling, I would tell my clients, please make sure this is a non-negotiable. Get me leg room. Don't cheap out. So that always happens.
Yeah, understandable. So you were that kid where the teachers are like, you stand in the end of the line in the assembly. I was the opposite because I was always the shortest. I used to be at the front of the line always. Interesting. Acha Hamza, is it luck or hard work?
Wow.
Got serious pretty soon.
No, it's just there's a flashback. Of course, I've obviously, I think, gone through a lot in the past. It's been 10 years since I've been making content, almost 9, 8. There's a mix of luck, but I heard someone say that we make our own luck, right? The fact is that you need to put in the reps, and I remember that hard work is something that a guy like me who probably was very mediocre in my university and college days, so I had to learn how to work hard. So I tell people nowadays that I tell these kids, I was like, if you don't learn to work hard in your school, college or university, you'll have to learn it afterwards. And that is something that happened with me, by the way. I mean, I knew the subjects that I was good at, but like I would then get Fs in the stuff that I wouldn't be good at. So like, in accounting and all. So I think for me, it's been a mix of hard work and luck. But there was a lot of hard work, especially between 2017 till 2021, where eventually I, was able to carve my way out of the job that I was doing. I loved my job, by the way. I absolutely love my job. But, there comes a time when you get so comfortable as well. You're like, okay, you know what? I have a good paying job. I'm working at the European Union. Everything is good. I'm working from home. And it couldn't be better, but it could. Then I realized that
it could always be better.
It could always be better. And that is where you become you have to be in love with the art of getting uncomfortable. I put myself in this situation where I was like, okay, you know what? I can live the rest of my life in this comfort zone where I'm like, everything is working fine. But what if I do this? What if I start making these videos? I'll have to shoot, edit, direct. I was the actor, the producer, the director, the guy who was, trying to get people to somehow, let me shoot at their place, the coordinator, everything, believe me. And I think that was the hard work. That was the hard work. And the fact that I had to learn everything from scratch, nothing came to me.
Right.
So I think that, it's I can write a book on this, by the way. So, but yeah.
I really think you should, because there's a lot of people who look up to you. They will read. Okay, but Hamza, like you said, you had to learn everything.
Yeah.
You come from a military background, of course. Quite some Nishane-Haidars in your family right there. Very successful people outside of that also. Was there a point where there was a lot of convincing involved? Ki, please let me go in this direction. I don't want to be one of those people.
Okay, so I was... This is, I don't know if this is just me or if other people can relate as well, but I was always like different. I remember even back in the university days, if everybody else is wearing black, which by the way I am right now, so Hamza Bhatti would go and wear orange because he had... Deliberately.
Okay.
Because that was the personality type that I was. I wanted to be different from the very beginning. Okay. But here's the funny part. I remember being bullied. I remember I had a very rough childhood because of looking different. But I was bullied a lot in my school, college, and even university days. And so but there was this resistance inside of me which kept on building, and it kept on feeding me more every time that I was bullied or every time I was being made fun of or whatever it was. So I think there's a part of me which always wanted to there was kind of, I don't want to call it revenge, but I wanted to make it for me. If I wanted to do it, I was like, okay, if I'm going to put in all of these hours in learning everything and learning to shoot and posting these videos which are not getting views in the start. I remember posting for almost 5 years, Shizza.
Yeah.
I did not make a single dime in my content.
I have been following you since. I know that, yes.
So from 2017 till 2021, I just kept on posting. And that was something that a lot of people give up over there, right? Somebody was like, oh, we've posted 10 videos. Oh, I've posted 100 videos and I still am not making money, right? And so then I was like, okay, you know what? No. I just tied that thing to my identity. That Hamza, this is who you are. You are a content creator, and nothing could change that. Nothing in the world could change who you are. So once that identity was established, I think then it became easy.
And where you said that you were a content creator, yes, at the risk of misusing the word probably, I would say you're a storyteller. And you have been. You probably had to figure out your niche.
Yeah.
Hamza, I am going to continue with, your
please.
journey back from
Please.
2017. But something really spoke to me when we were just right now talking about you growing up in a difficult environment in terms of people bullying you. Hundreds of thousands of people that watch you go through the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just a Pakistani thing. It's not an Asian thing. It's a global thing. Where it stems from, I have multiple times spoken about it, written about it, really never understand. Are you over it?
No.
Does it haunt you, or does it make you a bitter person or a better person?
it fuels me. It
In a
fuels
good
me
way.
in a good way, because I I took all the negativity. It's like I took all of that negativity, I squeezed it in one hand, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to burn this and use it as my fuel to become successful. I know it's a very weird thing to say, but that is what I did, because I realized that all the hate and all this thing that I had, that I had in myself because of whatever I had gone through in life. The only way I could somehow make it right was through making me, just through making what I wanted to make, through putting myself out there. And I just wanted to like prove it to the world that whatever you had said in the past, I'm going to make sure that you realize that you were wrong.
That's strength right there.
That is strength.
Did you know that you have so much strength?
I did.
Oh, you always knew.
I always knew. So that's what I did, because back in the day I tried everything, like from jobs, 1 month here, 1 month over there, trying this. I tried, I think, over 24 different things.
Okay.
Right? But that was who I was. I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out no matter what. I will figure this out no matter what. And I think that is what made, because as the more you're exposed to people, the more you're exposed to all kinds of businesses and all kinds of jobs, the more you start to discover that what you want in life. I think that is how I discovered what I wanted in life.
Yeah.
I listen. The content thing came in obviously you can say 2017, 18, but then again, there was no proof, there was no degree that said, oh, Hamza Bhatti, you're now a good storyteller or a content creator. Even today, you don't have a degree in this. So I think that is where you just, there comes a point where you're like, okay, I just need to keep on going. I need to use this fuel as fire to my engines. And, we'll see wherever we go from it.
It's 2017. Hamza is working somewhere, and he, I think, fresh graduate or something.
So I graduated in 2015 actually.
It's 2017, and Hamza has decided that he wants to make a digital footprint. How, he doesn't know yet. What I know is you, and correct me if I'm wrong, without any plan, you went for making an army, as we call it, a following. Was it the sentiment you played with? Was it the emotion of, Pindi boys that you played with or something like that? Really don't know. But that was your first goal.
Yeah.
To build a cult following.
Yeah.
And you did that. Like you said, you weren't even monetized for so many years. Was that really the goal? And then you later planned, okay, now I have to cater to them also.
Yeah. A part of me, and probably in that, what he was really doing is that he just wanted to connect with the world and tell them his story. He just wanted to be heard. Then there was nothing else. I didn't know if I could ever make money out of it. I never would had intended that, one day I'm going to have money, or I'm going to have fame, or if I'm going to be traveling the entire world. No. But I'm just being like very genuinely honest here, because that was who I was. Lost. Had no idea what I was going to do. And I was at a point where I was like, I just want to perhaps put myself out there, tell people who I am, tell them whatever, be able to somehow, tell them what I have learned, and just, tie them with me in this journey together. So, perhaps, and I don't know where I'm heading. I don't know where I'm heading, but I just want to keep going. Yeah.
Okay. So you have very successfully branded yourself. Of course, takes a lot of years. You have already mentioned that. But now through your stories or storytelling, you're also teaching a lot of people branding.
Yeah.
So when you give out the rules, anyone can be Hamza Bhatti? Does it apply to certain people? Is there a formula?
I know. I wish that there was a very straightforward answer to this.
No, I wanted your answer.
No, exactly. I think yes and no. Here's a reality. The fact is that people, when I talk to them, a lot of them are still obviously trying to discover themselves. I can give you my life's work in front of you. I can give you the formula. I can tell you exactly what to do. But at the end of the day, that still won't. And I always say, don't be the next Hamza Bhatti. Don't be the next Irfan Janejo. Don't be the next Muru. Be the first you. Right? Because the world already has a Hamza Bhatti. The world already has a Muru. The world already has an Irfan Janejo. They don't want another one. They want the first version of you. So, and I always say that could only happen once, you kind of make peace with yourself that I want to do something not just for me. The purpose, my life's purpose is not me. You would look at Hamza Bhatti now, there's this and that, he's done the branding, he's done the followers, blah, blah, blah. No. I think, and since my life's purpose is much bigger than who I am, it's not about me. And there was a pact, there's a very sacred pact that I made with God. It's not probably too sacred now, but I'm just putting it out there. And I said this, I remember back, I exactly remember the date, I remember the time, I remember that night. I remember sitting, on that Jai Namaz, and I said that, let me be what I want to become, and I will inspire your people. That I will work for your people. I'll help those Hamza Bhattis who are struggling, just like I was. So the goal, once again, you can say, can somebody be the next Hamza Bhatti and all? But the fact is that my philosophy, or what my, and I think I'll be very honest, I'm fueled my life by my life's past traumas. So you obviously can't have the same, right? But then again, the reality is that you need to somehow learn to use negativity in a way where you can, pull yourself together and do something much bigger. I personally feel like that in my case, I think I'm very lucky to have, by the way, the biggest, I think the biggest blessing that I have is the life that I have lived, and more importantly, the hardships that I've gone through, who have made me Hamza Bhatti today.
See, people, you're not very vocal about the hardships. You do mention that, you growing up, there's challenges and everything.
Yeah.
So to people, you come off as someone privileged.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you're controversial. Actually, you're not. I was looking for controversy. And we'll come to them. We'll come to them. Definitely. I have a few.
Yeah.
But that is what, is shown to people. Probably a defense mechanism of, you really don't want to expose yourself to everyone. I want to talk about that. But also, Hamza, you are very strong and vocal about your faith.
Yeah.
This is something that you have carried on ever since people know you,
Yeah.
I was just talking to some of my colleagues and other people, and they were like, can you ask him about his faith, how he keeps it so strong? Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something that, because I know for a fact that it is this something that I always believe. The fact that my mom used to tell me this, that इंसान को कहते हैं कि इंसान की ज़ुबान जो है वो कहते हैं कि अरूज से ज़मीन पर और ज़मीन से अरूज तक ले जाती है. I've always believed that Allah Ta'ala has given me something, and He could take it away the next day. He could take that away tomorrow. So what can I really do in order to become the best version of myself, and how can I be that person who just stays loyal to Him, and my loyalty to Him is like just doing the things that I always wanted. I always said that I would do. Either it's the charity work or it's and once again, that's, you'll never know.
We've never seen it.
You'll never know. That's the thing. That is what charity is. कि एक हाथ से दो दूसरे हाथ को पता भी ना लगे, right? So whatever I've done, it's done in a way where that bond of mine is probably the most sacred one, and probably the most important one. Probably more important than human beings. I'm sorry, but like it's
why do you have to be sorry?
No, it's not, because once again, I mean, that is something that I hold very dear, because I know every time that I failed, every time that I fell down, I knew that there was a hand that picked me up. I know there was a hand that picked me up. And so my bond with Him is something that is so strong, and is something that allows me to take the kind of risks that I take today. I think if you want to grow in life, if you want to make it big in life, take all the risks that you could think that you could take. Right? Because when you start to like leave that comfort zone and start to experiment and do all of those things, you're like, just people have said, ye bhi na karna, wo bhi na karna, wo bhi na karna. I now chase discomfort. I am that person who like, okay, Iran, right? That's the most difficult place. You say that you can't go. That's exactly where I'll go.
And I'm going to advertise it also. We will come to Iran. But Hamza, it's so difficult to come out of your comfort zone. Change is scary. How do you get over it?
I don't know.
Is it tawakkul? All the way?
I mean, I think it has always been tawakkul. Of course, it has always been tawakkul. When you say that, Allah Ta'ala, I'm going to take these risks and I'm going to, the only person that I know that I'll be getting, I'll be somehow asking for help is you. So tawakkul was always there. I think tawakkul was the base of everything that I did. But then I started to realize that every time I did something which was unheard of, people were like, oh, you've done an amazing job. Oh, how did you do it? And I'm like, it was actually not that difficult. It's just that you never tried. And so once again, I think that's where I feel like that. Even like people who are like, oh, you've gone to Iran and then you won't get a visa for here, this and that. And literally after Iran, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. My entire genre changed when I went to Iran, because now I kind of just make travel videos from across the world. And so once again, it was that insane when you're like, okay, am I going to do something? And literally, this is literally the game plan. Let's go and do everything others are afraid of. So when you say that, how do you overcome fear? You have your own life's example of how you overcame fear, how you were able to break through all the stuff, all the things that people had told you that would happen to you. And here you are, living the living, breathing example of overcoming fear. So I think once again, it's I don't know where it comes from. I don't know. It just comes to me. But that is how it has happened.
And it's working out for you, which is absolutely brilliant.
Well, so far.
so far, so good. One word answer, Muru or Junejo?
Oh, you can't do me like that.
Muru or Junejo?
Because you know what? I love Junejo. I'm going to be very political here. I absolutely love Junejo. I love Muru. But, I've traveled twice with Muru. I was with Muru just a week back.
Yeah.
So I think I'll take Muru because I have been learning a lot from him.
Jalin, since we are now talking about Muru, the Iran trip.
Yeah.
You were invited by Iran to come attend the funeral of, Khamenei, the martyred, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But people, in your comments I saw, and then there were, just some people calling you out, that you and Muru were not treating it as respectfully as they were expecting.
That.
Yeah? Did you respond?
I did not respond. Something, by the way, I'll also tell you something about social media. The ultimate popo of media. Okay. If you want to continue, if you want to make content on social media, because this is a place where everybody feels obliged to comment their thoughts.
It's so easy.
That's the easiest thing in the world.
It's the easiest thing in the world.
It's the easiest thing in the world. When you're putting yourself out there on social media, you're in the lion's den. Remember that. I tell this to everyone. Like, okay, there will be somebody who is in XYZ village who has just fought with his wife and he just wants to take out his anger on you. I remember going to that funeral. I was like, okay, we're going to this funeral. We were actually pretty excited to go on that funeral as well.
Yeah, we were excited for you.
Exactly. We're like, okay, we're literally making history. We're going to tell our, grandkids about this. Ke yaar, ek din, aisa tha where we had, we were able to attend this funeral, which is the biggest funeral of all time. So I remember we were at the airport chatting with our, colleagues, having a chat with, even Wasim Badami was there, some
Yeah.
really amazing journalists were there. We were extremely excited. We would, obviously we would put the pictures of how we feel. We're not going to act like we're just crying our way to the funeral. Come on.
So you're saying it was authentic, whatever it was.
We will, for me, I will always be myself without caring whatever the world wants to think about me and say about me. Because the same people who used to hate me back 10 years back now say, oh, ye to hamara ladka hai bhai. He was our guy. We studied together, So, I know.
And I have an example of you being yourself. This was few months ago, last year actually, the end of last year. There were two actors fighting or whatever, and then one of them retracted their statement. You without even thinking, unapologetically went and commented, fastest software update. Hamza, you're not even friends with those people. Why would you say that?
Somehow, Sarah, there are times where I just want to be that Popo.
Was it out of fun?
Of course, I want to be a Popo as well at times. If other people can be Popos, I could be Popo as well. But believe me, it's like I like to have my fun on social media. And it's okay when I get some, there are times when I know that I've messed up. And that's fine. It's part of who I am. I do not want extra attention. I have attention, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not hunting for more attention. You say, oh, maybe I can, if I wanted attention, I would just go and make a video against one of the, popular creators or, influencers that I'm friends with. And that's that. The entire Pakistani community media I will be talking about. So I don't have to do that. But yeah, that's who I am. And I believe that, being yourself allows you to really, think freely. Allows also people to know that, okay, you know what, this guy wouldn't care. This guy does not care. And by the way, the day you establish this fact on social media, that the fact that, this guy doesn't really care. We can go on and do entire campaigns against him.
Yeah.
He still won't budge. That's my mind being calloused to that level where I am not affected. And that allows me to continue working without, this tunnel vision. I know where I'm headed.
Are you saying you've achieved monk state?
I have. Of course.
I love
on
that.
social media, 100%. I am the social media monk, if you want to. Okay, once again, because it's just not just me. It's all of those other creators as well who a lot of you, obviously, people look up to. And they're like, they've messed up as well, by the way. All of the biggest creators, just look them up and you'll see so many controversies.
Yeah.
But they were learning as well, and so am I. I always say, I think I'll never be an expert. I'll never be the 100% of what I think I want to be. And I'm fine with that. And that is why, because I am a student of the game. I just want to be that guy who just, keeps on going.
Actually, let's be very honest. People who are in the public eye, they're humans too. To err is human, of course. And learning is a lifelong journey, I feel like. So that is something that makes sense. But Hamza, so for us who were not there in Iran, we were living through you. We were living through Badami Saab. We were living through Amuru.
It's crazy.
Can you paint me a picture of what it was really like? Historical, monumental, of course. What an honor for you, by the way. What was it like?
Sad.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. They're any people. They're like, I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like those people anywhere in the world, wherever I want to. And something that I realized that it's part of their identity. It's not like it's being made up, or it's not something that you'll be like. I remember being in those streets and I'm like, how can somebody love, a leader that much? Okay, they have had good leaders or interesting leaders in the past as well. You could follow any XYZ.
You could be a fan.
You could be a fan, yeah. You could be a fanatic as well. But the fact is that how can an entire nation, this is what they've quoted, 4.3 crore people. That's not normal.
Not normal.
And 'cause I'll tell you what, because I was there in Iran last year as well. I remember
Yeah.
it being Yom al-Quds. That's the day where they come out for Palestine, right? That is part of their identity. And I felt, believe me, those 2-3 days were really, really, really difficult, considering, we were marching with the hundreds of thousands of people that we were obviously were around us, and the fact that these people just, they were obviously sad. There was a sense of revenge I could obviously sense in them as well. But they were there to honor their hero, and we were honored to be a part of that entire process. So I think, but going back to Iran is always an honor, because I just feel like that is where I feel at home. That's a place where I just feel like when I go back, the love that we get. Every time you go and walk up to somebody, and if they'll ask you where you're from, and they'll just treat you so well. And so the fact is, that is where you start to realize that these boundaries that we have always had with all of these countries, they just exist on those maps. They feel they'll never discriminate against you. They'll always be very helpful. So I think, once again, the Iran thing has always been great, and this time, once again, I think it was fantastic.
Yeah, but like, it was such a sensitive time that you went for.
Yeah.
How was it like? So first of all, I mean, we all know, I mean, it's not news anymore. Unfortunately, for more than 5 months now, we're in a regional conflict, yes, but now it's kind of transcending into global.
It's a global conflict.
How was it like being a Pakistani,
Yeah.
representing Pakistan
Yeah.
during the funeral?
I think that was very interesting, considering that, I remember I was having a chat with other journalists as well from other countries, and they're like, and when they're like, oh, so you were the one who stopped the war. I was like, yeah, I mean, technically, yes, we were the one.
It's us, it's us.
Like, and like, and they were actually like, so they received you very well. Like, as a Pakistani, I felt very proud. I think as a Pakistani, I felt extremely proud of the fact that and obviously, I think all the people who came together to obviously make this happen. There was a lot of effort, and I feel like that is what that's something that I feel like that I'll always be. Whenever I go to Iran, I think that if the war stops again, I think they'll always remember
Inshallah.
that. Inshallah, hopefully. But yeah, I think that was it was pretty nice to represent Pakistan, and obviously, there were other Pakistani journalists there as well. So yeah, we actually had a good time over there.
A very good thing that came out of your visit was, somehow, I think unplanned, you took up the responsibility of uniting sects.
Yeah.
How did people receive it?
I honestly, so this is the one that actually did surprise me, because I don't know how it happened. I swear to God, I had no plan that I was going to, talk about the Shia Sunni unity, but somewhere I remember going to this mosque, and by the way, I have heard really interesting things when I was here, when I was going, I was traveling to Iran even last year as well. That don't go here, don't eat when the food that they're eating, don't do that, don't go to their mosques. And the fact is that I was like, okay, once again, the same Hamza Bhatti is like, okay, that's what you're saying, don't do.
I'll
That's
do it.
exactly what I'm going to do. That is exactly what I'm going to do. So I went, Shizza, and I was so curious, because we went to this absolutely huge place. It was the resting place of the Ayatollah Khamenei, the first, and it obviously had a mosque over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember praying behind Shia people, and it just felt normal. It just felt so normal that I'm in Iran right now. And also, but that's not the only time I've actually prayed behind them. Last year, on the Yom al-Quds, there were almost 200,000 people in the Tehran University, because so basically the concept of prayer in Tehran, in Iran, is basically that they have lesser mosques, because when they say Juma is basically a majma of people, a collection, people coming together from different places. So they'd have lesser mosques so that they could pray together. So I remember praying behind 200,000 people, and once again, nothing really nothing really happened. Like all of the things that
What were you expecting?
No, so
When you say that everything was normal?
No, because I was expecting that maybe, they're like, okay, no, don't pray with us, or, please don't, go here, don't come here, blah, blah, blah. Because that I've always, back in the day, by the way, this is something that comes from my Bade Buzurg, people who always had told me things that, but don't engage. Right?
Okay.
Don't engage. That was the first thing. Don't have friends, don't have friends in the same sect. Don't engage with them. Don't be nice to them, blah, blah, blah. And so now I find myself at a place where I'm literally like, I have two people from the Shia sect in my team as well, right?
Okay.
And I've always had the best friends who have always been Ale Tashi. So I think that is what I wanted to like kind of highlight. And that is something, by the way, because I saw, so if you look at that video, which probably has over 2 million views right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that, oh, we used to literally think the same till we actually prayed behind them or met them. And so this has been, I don't want to I don't want to start a controversy here.
Yeah, no.
But I want to make sure that, people get to see, because when they see through my eyes, if they see through my videos, they're able to relate and they're able to share and they're able to understand, oh, what, this is not just us, it's, this is how it is.
So yeah, I think completely unplanned, but somehow turned to be a very positive thing for a lot of people.
Great, yeah.
Hamza, so many things to ask. Oh my God, I think we'll have to break the episode down in 2 parts, but one by one, let's see how much I can get out of you.
Please.
You are a public figure, of course, we know that, established 10 years. Somehow, you have been very successful in keeping your personal life personal and your public life public.
Yeah.
I think only the people who are in your life know about your personal life. We don't know about your family. Unlike, let's say, like X, Y, or Z family vloggers,
Yeah.
That's on them. It's their trajectory. I support you as long as it's not disrespectful.
Yeah.
Why not? That sells.
I know that sells. I know, and that is exactly what I use. Shizza, they say that, I'll say this in Urdu, जो चीज़ कीमती होती है ना उसे आप छुपा के रखते हो.
Okay.
Okay? So whatever is dear to you, you do not put that in public.
But how do you manage to actually do that?
Yeah.
People are not respectful of boundaries.
People, here's the thing. Then that's why I live far away, not in the main city. I've been to malls where I feel like people have been filming me with my family. And that kind of makes me very awkward. And that is exactly what I and some other creators as well, who I really respect. The fact is that, okay, you don't have to, because I know the fact that if I put my family out there, people can target them against me. People can use them against me one day. And I realized this as soon as I did. I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my family stays very private.
Okay.
And my family life stays very private. But also there's also huge reason behind this. I know that if I put my family in public, I'll be getting so many more views, so many more sponsors, so many new followers.
Then it's an ethical dilemma for you.
But that's the thing. Listen, you know what happens? That is where I'll start to become comfortable again.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I'm getting the views from all of this stuff. Why should I put myself out there in the world and, make all of these difficult videos and get all of that amazing production and write these, scripts that would take me hours and days and sometimes weeks to write?
Family content is easy views?
Family content is the easiest views that you could get.
Okay.
And it's more relatable, by the way. And once again, more people, and by the way, I don't judge anybody who's making, that content, because, okay, that's their life, and that is how things work for them.
I've even watched it, so I can't even say anything.
No, exactly. And by the way, once again, I always let those people be. I just feel like that as a creator, you need to have a very disciplined life and a mindset where you're like, okay, this is who I am. This is where I'm willing to be. And these are my boundaries which I will not cross. No matter if I get no sponsors, I am run out of money, nothing will change. And so I think that discipline has allowed me to build an entire company, build, alhamdulillah, successful business. And that keeps me on my toes at all times. Because I know I cannot go where other people have gone. So I think that's the easiest answer I'll give you.
But it's not that easy because you're on my podcast. Wait for it. So, Here's the thing. Like, again, being a public figure, you get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
All genders.
Yes.
Does it at one point? I know, man. I've read your comments. I mean, so for all the people who don't know that you do have a family, mashallah, they will assume that you're single and available. And there's a lot of, prospects and approaches out there for you.
Yeah.
Does it bother the family? Is there ever a discussion or an argument regarding the female attention?
I think that they've always been very supportive, and the fact that they understand the kind of work that I do, and also because of their support that I'm where I am today.
Okay.
Right? The reality is that yes, you'll always have all kinds of people, and also more importantly, the kind of life that I live. I'm traveling. I'm mingling with international creators, all kinds of and then you'll have all kinds of nationalities, all kinds of people, and there's a sense of I think there's always a sense of trust. There's this thing that, and personally for me, here's the thing. I don't have the time. I don't have the time for anything else. I'm sorry. I literally, anybody who's watching this, I do not have that's the thing. I don't have the time. Because I have packed my life in a way, my schedule in a way, where from Monday to Friday, I am not available for anybody.
And there's Saturday, Sunday.
And then there's Saturday, Sunday, where I would rest and spend some time with my family. And by the way, family life does get compromised a lot as well. Especially, it got compromised a lot in the start as well. But then again, you're like, okay, that's what I've chosen. That's the life that I have chosen. And if I am going to not publicly use them for my, work, then I'm going to make sure that I'm going to, in those 5 days, I'm going to obviously make sure that I work my heart out, my soul out.
So some would also argue that when you put your family out there in the public, there's views, but there's also a lot of other opportunities. So you don't like free stuff? You don't want your kitchen to get free stuff or wardrobe?
I make too much money that I would, need free stuff. So I don't have to go and get free stuff anymore.
Good answer.
Alhamdulillah, I think once again, there are always, PR opportunities coming up or, and people would be like, do this and that. I'm like, no, I'm not interested in this. So I think another thing is the world respects you so much more once they know what your boundaries are. And then they'll be like, that will intimidate them.
Yeah.
That will make them think, we just can't say this in front of him.
True. Hamza, it's so important to stand up for something. Have some principle in your life, asool, what we say. It's absolutely so important. So, okay. And thank you for mentioning that you now are, mashallah, doing good, and you pick and choose the ads that you want to do or you don't want to do.
All the time.
Is it a different reality 10 years down the line when anything in the world you can afford that you used to wish for is like the dream that you used to have? Would you say it's fulfilled?
Yeah.
Is it humbling?
It's extremely humbling. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me focused. It keeps me grateful. It keeps me thinking more and more about that I don't deserve this. That's who I am.
Okay.
I'll always have. By the way, I have even today imposter syndrome.
Oh.
The biggest imposter syndrome that you could think of, because I feel like that I am not worthy. Because where I've come from is, here's the thing, something that I always thought of. This is the craziest part.
Yeah.
Because I had so much tawakkul, I knew that I would make it. But also, I never thought what it would look like, right? I mean, I wouldn't know that I'm going to have this, and this.
No, not until you're in it.
No, of course not. Even today, there are things that happen to me where I'm like, am I really here?
Still.
Am I? No, I swear to God. Sorry, I'll just tell you a very quick little story.
Yeah.
2022. 2022. I have, in 2021, exactly, I remember the month. It was August or September. I said to myself that in 1 year's time, I'm going to be standing right next to two of my idols, Irfan Janejo and Muru. Shizza, within 8 months,
No.
I was standing. I was at an event where there were 8 creators selected from across the country. On my right there was Muru, and on my left there was Irfan Janejo.
Wow. Was it
That-
surreal for you?
I still get goosebumps when I think of it. Manifestation.
Yeah.
I have manifested everything into existence. And I realized that, believe me, it is so powerful that the human is, Allah Ta'ala made us ashraf al-makhluqat
For a reason.
for a reason. But the fact is, it's about cracking that code where you're like, okay, this is, I'm actually capable of all of this.
Yeah.
All I have to do is somehow just be able to crack and somehow be able to like learn and somehow be able to work towards this, and that's that.
Speaking of manifestation, Pep Guardiola.
Wow, no, that is not manifestation. Oh God, that was too big. That was meeting. I mean, meeting him is like, I somehow, believe me, that's funny. Sometimes I'll just open my Instagram and I'll see the pinned picture and my
It's
Instagram.
pinned, yes.
Am I still? I think that was huge, but that was also. I think that was years and years of work. I do not take anything for granted.
Yeah.
For me to get that opportunity, and I just, I'm just grateful. I just feel like that, and that kind of makes me also, by the way, that helps me kind of reestablish and realize what I am truly capable of. Because even today, sometimes I just forget who I am. There are, by the way, multiple times where I'll just doubt myself.
Okay.
I'll second guess myself. I'll become very insecure. I'll become this person who, despite having whatever he's done, despite doing whatever he's done, once again, the imposter syndrome kicks in. And once it does, then it becomes very difficult. But yeah, it happened.
Yeah. And I think you did deserve it. Not gonna lie. I know it's for someone with an imposter syndrome, it does take a while to register
it
what
takes a while,
happened.
but yeah, it happened, and I honestly feel so blessed. And once again, because I always loved football, so my thing was about that. I always loved football, and I was horrible at playing. But I mean, so there are people who were really good at it.
Yeah.
So, but for me, I was a 20-year, I was watching the Premier League since 2005, and by the way, saying something similar that since I'm an Arsenal fan, so I went there as when I met Pep Guardiola. First of all, the first reaction of when people had was shock, but the realization was, oh, he's an Arsenal fan, so let's troll him for that as well. But overall, the community took it very well, because once again, it was the first time any Pakistani creator was meeting him, and it was absolutely unreal.
But for someone who's such a major football fan, why are they boycotting FIFA 2026?
Okay, so I think what I've seen so far with the World Cup and what has happened, especially in the past 1 month since the World Cup has started, I'm not going to get into too many details, but we've seen the kind of refereeing we have seen, and we've been seeing this, especially what the kind of refereeing and the decisions that are being taken against the Muslim countries, the African countries. I mean, if you watch the Argentina versus Egypt match, it was an absolute horror show.
Was
For me,
crazy.
I once again, I'm a football fan, but I am boycotting the World Cup, and it's purely because of the fact that it's happening in the US, and it's not where it's a place where I just feel like that what I've seen so far regarding FIFA and what the things that I've the matches that I've watched and all the stuff that has gone into this World Cup, I just feel like that I don't know, this is not the World Cup for me. I read this and it says if you stand for something you'll fall. If people who stand for nothing will fall for anything. सही, I mean, you देखें और क्या हो जाएगा, ज़्यादातर ये हो जाएगा कि मुझे कोई स्पॉन्सर जो मिलना था वो नहीं मिलेगा. That's fine, dude. Once again, but and I'll tell you what what brands get really impressed by, that this guy is taking a stand. He has the to take a stand.
Really?
Right? So people, brands will actually appreciate you boycotting Israel
Okay.
because they're like, okay, you know what? If XYZ cold drink brand goes, a new brand will come in and say, Bhaijan, sabse pehle, you are the face of our campaign.
So authenticity does pay
Yeah,
off.
always.
Okay, a very interesting thing, and I want an answer, of course, coming from you. So initially, if you remember, when there was no option of paid collaboration on Instagram, so there were, ads left and right, and you could only tell when you're like, oh, all of a sudden, 5 of them are doing an ad for this product.
Same product,
So it's probably an ad. Now, then the audience asked for it, so there was an option of collaboration.
Yeah.
Now, there's some people who say that content creators should also put out how much they made from this ad. Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh.
Now the new FBR.
No, but wait, but then a person who's working will not tell you their
Of
salary.
course they won't. Of course they won't.
Then why should content creators say?
So the fact is that you'll always see content creators being in the limelight, always being highlighted for even the things that poor guys haven't really. It's just that because I'll tell you why. The kind of relationship the audience has with the content creator or an influencer in general, as compared to somebody who's a movie star
Okay.
or a drama actor or a musician, is much different. Because these people are kind of like, they exist on. I say they exist on cloud. They are on a different level because they don't talk to you like we do every day. So the relationship is kind of different. With Pakistani creators, it's like you'll always find, even in the freelance. So by the way, we're much better. The freelancing community, they go through this all the time. So I think you don't have to. I mean, and it's obviously absurd. You will always obviously hear a lot of things about the content creators, or that they shouldn't be making this much money, or and this and that. So just stop watching them. And if you hate that so much, just go to the Supreme Court and get Instagram banned. That is what I believe me.
Please don't do that.
No, please don't do that. But believe me, I don't even mind if something like that happens one day, because I know that we have the potential to do that.
Okay. But you're all over all the platforms.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
LinkedIn.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So, the Hamza Bhatti who transitioned from working in the corporate sector as an employee, as somebody who, I mean, I'm saying the last job that I did, and even the second last job, I absolutely loved doing that job, right? So I brought some kind of expertise from that, and I started. What I did was I made my LinkedIn back in 2012, and I just started posting. I would post there sometime here and there, blah blah blah. But since last year, I am now the most watched LinkedIn creator in the country.
I didn't even know LinkedIn was a market.
LinkedIn is the market, Shizza. LinkedIn is
Thank you for educating. I really didn't know.
I would love to tell you about that as well. So, this is what I do. Now, let me give your audience something that I haven't really said out loud.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, all of these big brands, let's say the Nestle's, the Pepsi's, the Cokes, all the big brands, let's say all the big brands that are on Instagram and on multiple platforms as well, who are trying to advertise, their CEOs, CFOs, CMOs, the top PR guys, everybody's on LinkedIn. So if I were to somehow if I were able to somehow impress them and say that, and show that my existence, my presence on a platform which they are probably following, I wouldn't expect the CEO of Jazz on for example, Instagram. Right?
Got it. Yeah,
so I'll say that what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that somehow I get to reach all of these big brands through LinkedIn, and that's what I started to post on LinkedIn as well. So at this moment, I almost have some 200,000 followers on LinkedIn, which is almost an impossible audience to build.
I know.
And that is what I have been doing, and that's my favorite platform, and I love to post and interact with people over there. I could have, if I wasn't so focused on LinkedIn, I'm pretty sure I would have had a million followers on Instagram. But I know where the money is.
Okay.
So where you chase, the fact is you have to be very smart about the money. There's a lot of money on social media being made right now, and by 2030 it's going to be almost double or triple. So obviously you have
But
to
you're already ahead of your game. This is a smart man, I tell you. He's already ahead of his game. He knows where it's going to come.
you have to. I mean, you have to you have to make sure that
Of
you kind of,
course.
stay ahead of the game, and that is what, gives you the advantage.
Do you think right now you're in a mentor position for upcoming content creators?
I think I am, but the only thing is that I haven't found the time. But as you say, I've actually been working on this another exclusive. I've been working on something called Creator School,
Oh,
and where I will be teaching some of these creators who I think they will see that how many people we could get. But eventually there will be some, a cohort perhaps,
okay.
where I can teach people whatever I've learned, just like LinkedIn. I
Got
told
it.
you something that you might never have known, right? And so that's where I could tell you, give you value. And that is something that's in the works. Yeah.
Okay, looking forward to it whenever it's out.
Yeah.
Just a few common comments / questions on your social media, so I'm going to put it out there.
Please, let's go.
Hamza bhai, please share your skincare routine.
रात को न्यूट्रोजीना का there's this thing that I apply, this water-based solution type gel. That is what I use, and I wash my face every day, and that is that's all. That is all of my my skincare routine.
Okay, but you do know this is a very commonly occurring question
This
for you.
is the most one of the most. Yeah.
Okay, the next one. And trust me, this is not just from women. This is from everyone. Are you single? I think we got the answer to that. But if you were to reply to a comment,
If I were to reply to a comment,
Hamza bhai, are you single?
none of your business.
Love that. So a lot of people also said they miss your food videos. By the way, you used to do reverse psychology. Ye paratha kabhi mat khana. So that is, and I want to watch the full video. Ki main kyun na khau, you know?
Yeah.
So food videos?
Thing in the past, probably not again.
Oh.
Probably again, but in a different style. I still love food, but my love-hate relationship with food is became very toxic back in the day.
Oh.
And then I was like, okay, I'll just want to stick to whatever I want to make. I just want to stick to things that I enjoy making.
Your followers also noticed that there's no vlogs, man. You uploaded after a year. Should they wait for new vlogs, or should they just get it over?
You're right, actually. I don't know. I just don't. So here's the thing. The LinkedIn and Instagram thing is so taxing. And I kind of miss making videos, long form videos where I can really sit down and, have a good chat. And I might bring them back next year, but not this year, perhaps.
Okay, next year.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait for it then, definitely.
Yeah.
Just one last question. Hamza bhai, will we see you in dramas?
Oh, sorry, never. Let me be very honest, I'm a horrible actor. I do not, I've done 2 commercials in my life. And I swear to God, by the way, I have so much respect for actors. I have so much respect for drama people and film people, because it is so difficult to act. Then when I realized that I just cannot act, and more importantly, I remember shooting this ad for a car brand. We started at 4 a.m. in the morning, and it ended at 10 p.m. at night. I was like, never again. It doesn't matter how much money you throw at me. It's so difficult. I won't.
Okay, so that on acting front, that is an absolute no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. I think this has been such a good conversation. My coordinator over here is messaging me saying, please wrap it up. We probably exceeded the memory card limit also. So Hamza, just towards the end, I think when I say it, of course, I work for the state, and I don't look credible saying it, but I'll still say it. Yeah. I think lately, Pakistan understood that narrative building is absolutely so important. 100%. And we are working in that direction. 100%. Exhibit A, Pakistan 100%. Television, 100%. Pakistan TV Digital. What do you think about that? Is Pakistan going in the right direction with it?
Finally. I think 100% finally, because this is something that's been missing. The fact that we exist, Pakistan has obviously existed for such a long time, but the fact is that we have been kind of lacking building narratives. The same what you said. Storytelling is everything. They say story is king, right? So the fact is that if you're able to build these narratives and the kind of work that obviously you guys have been doing, it is just, and especially the fact that it's in English. So a lot of Pakistan has always been kind of misrepresented as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think you always need the language barrier is always there. Even people comment on my videos like, please, can you have some captions in English or on this video? And that is where I realize, okay, you know what? I think I need to somehow integrate some kind of English trainer. So I think the job that you guys have been doing, and I've been watching, I've been following you as well.
Thank you.
I think it's been absolutely amazing, and I could always wish you the best.
Thank you. I think a need of the hour, like you said yourself. So thank you so much for being with us, Hamza. This is something our in-house graphic designers team and marketing team designed for you.
Thank you so much. It was very nice. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Hamza. We really look forward to having you again once you have the cohort up and running.
Yes.
The project you're working on, ladies and gentlemen. Conversations never end. This one has been amazing as always. So I will catch you next week right here in the chat room with Shizza. Until then, take care.